Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delay. I had to get my actors in place for our reenactment of Cardi B versus Tasha K, the defamation um, court case. You guys know this happened back in January 10th to be exact, and it ended on January 25th. Now, here's what's the problem. Not the problem, but here's why we're doing this reenactment. Because we were told that no one lied. We were told no one lied. No one got thrown under the bus. But now you guys get to be the judge of that. So without further ado, let me bring my actors on board. All right, we have Miss Perspective Me playing Tasha K. Hello, Miss Perspective Me. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
And we have Miss Power. She's playing the court deputy as well as the court officer. Hello, Powerful.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, now. All right, not only do we have the one and only Miss Mott. She is the attorney for Miss Cardi B, and we all know her as Couch Potato, but her real name is Purple Couch.
Howdy, howdy.
All right. One of our other players, she just disappeared. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna wait for our last one to show up. She just jumped out the ship for a minute. So, let me say hello to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, chat. How is everyone doing this evening? Hello, 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 hello. Here we go. Hold on, y'all. Now we have Miss Henny Hen, who is playing our Judge Ray. Hello, Henny Hen. How are you? Henny Hen, unmute yourself.
I did, didn't I?
Gotta speak a little louder.
I said hello.
Hello.
Blessings, everybody.
All right, she says blessings to everybody. Let me just say a blanket hello to the whole chat. Hi, chat. I hope you guys enjoy this. And what we're going to do, we're going to continue the 10th, no, the 11th, because we did not do the 10th. The 10th was a pre-trial hearing, and a lot of that stuff is mumbo jumbo, so I didn't want to bore you guys with that. So we started off with the actual what do you call it, when they testify. Yeah, she was giving her testimony. But anyway, welcome everybody. Please hit the like button, share this channel, because we want to show you the truth. We want to show you the truth. She's trying to keep us from letting you guys hear the truth. And without further ado, we're going to continue day 11. Well, it's the first day, but it's January 11th of the trial between Cardi B versus Tasha K. And let us roll.
All right. All right. If we can stop this for a moment, this is a video of the interview, your interview with Star Marie Jones, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it's true that this is not usually the format of your Unwind Tasha K videos, correct?
I have many formats.
Okay. But is it typical for you to pre-record videos?
Yes, ma'am.
It's typical for you to pre-record interviews with third parties?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. You started this video. We just saw you start this video with 3 questions, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you asked Miss Jones, you said that Cardi B prostituted. And Jones said yes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You then said, was she a drug user? And Miss Jones said yes, cocaine to be specific, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you asked, she has herpes. And Jones said yes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall giving testimony that you intentionally started the video with those 3 questions?
I don't recall that testimony. Could you remind me?
Okay. If we could look at page 209 of your deposition transcript, beginning at line 8. The question was, okay, why did you start the interview with those 3 questions? Answer, because those are the 3 things that Star Marie has stated in her previous live testimony that went viral. Did you give that testimony?
What line are you on again? I'm sorry.
Sure, I started at line 8 on page 209.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it true that you started the video also with those 3 questions because of the testimony you gave, that you confirmed you gave earlier, that you wanted the video to get the most ratings, correct?
I'm
No,
sorry.
ma'am, that is not correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Dennis was asking for the noise, so we had to do the noise because Tasha K was making noise with the mic. Sorry. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, ma'am, that is not correct.
When you interviewed Star Marie Jones before you published this video on the internet, isn't it true that you teased it on social media?
Could you state that question again?
Do you need it repeated or restated?
Repeat it. Sorry.
Sure. I said, isn't it true that before you published the video online, you teased the video on social media?
Yes, ma'am. That's our standard.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
That's our standard, our company standard.
Okay. And the purpose of teasing the video is to get viewers excited to watch it so that when it's released, it will have more views, correct?
We preview the content. We can't tell if someone is going to watch it or not, but we preview it, gives them an option.
The question was purpose. What's the purpose you did that?
To preview the content.
What's the purpose you preview?
So that our viewers know what's coming.
And what's the purpose of that?
So that people can view it.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. If we could pull up plaintiff's 314 for a moment. Is this a true and accurate copy of a post that you posted on Instagram on September 18th of 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd offer this into evidence.
Any objection? No objection. P314 is admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. In this post, you say, winos, hashtag Cardi B in the comments of my Instagram, going the F over my interview with her ex roommate. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And were you letting people know that Cardi B had been in your comments talking about one of the teasers of the interview?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you hashtag her in this post so that when people search the hashtag, they would find the post?
Yes, ma'am. It's right there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
It's right there. The hashtag Cardi B.
Okay. And in the side window next to it, you wrote, at I am Cardi B. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And your understanding is that's my client's Instagram handle, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said versus at I am love star Marie 13. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that Star Marie's Instagram handle?
It was at the time. Yes, ma'am.
And then you said in this, I got to tell you, this is by far the best interview I've ever done. The ex roommate went the F in. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then there are some more hashtags below this, including another one for Cardi B. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Was one of the purposes of posting this to promote the fact that you had a video coming out and that my client was engaging with it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If we can pull up Plaintiff 61 for a moment.
I'm
Is this
sorry.
huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is this a copy of the a screenshot of what the video would look like on your YouTube channel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd offer this into evidence.
I'm sorry. So, Exhibit 61?
Yeah, page 61.
I'm ready, so.
Go ahead.
Any objections?
No objection.
Is admitted without objection. Purpose of identification and to
Mm-mm. You don't
Okay.
even need to read
whereupon
that.
plaintiff's exhibit 61 was
You
marked
don't.
for purpose of.
You don't need to read that.
Okay,
You breaking up, Henny?
I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as you can see on this, this was captured on January the 3rd of 2019. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And this was how people would view the Star Marie Jones video that we just saw a portion of, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And underneath the title, well, before the title of the video, on the mid left hand side, there's hashtag unwind, hashtag Cardi B, and hashtag exclusive. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And isn't it true? You put those hashtags there to again, so that when people were searching the internet for hashtags for my client, that they would find the videos.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And below the title of the video, it says 2,777,669 views. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the way YouTube indicates the number of views as of a particular date for a video?
Yes, ma'am.
So, as of this date, that video had been viewed more than 2.7 million times, correct?
Yes, as of that date.
And since then, it's gotten even more views, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It's well over 3 million, correct?
I think 4.8 to be
Wow.
exact million.
Okay. And then underneath, at the very bottom left, after underneath with Unwind with Tasha K, under published on September 19, 2018, you have more hashtags. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is the purpose of repeatedly hashtagging my client and words like exclusive and trending to ensure that your video gets picked up in searches?
That's not a repeat. Those are the actual hashtags. Those are the same ones that are in the description box. So what happens is when you put things in the description box under the Unwind with Tasha K, where it says published, only 3 of them show at the top. So that's just a repeat. I didn't write those twice.
Okay. And then underneath that, there's a link that says https teespring.com. And it looks like it then says backslash, now I gotta go. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I gotta go is a common way that you sign off from videos, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's in hashtags in lots of your posts and videos on various social media platforms.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you kind of consider it a signature of yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this link for teespring.com going to a merchandise page for Now Gotta Go merchandise?
Yes, ma'am. T-shirts to be exact.
Okay. So you were also promoting the sale of your goods in the link where you're promoting the video, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The link is in all of our videos.
All right. Before you published this video, you admit that Star Marie Jones had told you that she had criminal charges against her in the past, correct?
No. No, ma'am.
Before you published this video online, she hadn't told you that she was on parole,
She told me in the interview.
but that was before you published it, right? Because it was recorded.
I got confused with the question. I apologize.
So before you published the video on YouTube, you acknowledged that Star Marie Jones had told you that she had criminal charges in her past, correct?
She was on probation. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. So what's the answer to the question?
Yes. Yes, sir. Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Answer the question that's asked and not a question that's not asked, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. You just said she was on probation. Isn't it true she told you she was on parole and was supposed to be in Georgia?
I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Probation, parole.
Okay. And in the video, she's actually told you on camera that during the time period she was describing having interactions with my client, that she was in New York despite the fact that she was not supposed to leave the state of Georgia, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you testified that it was your understanding, based on those conversations, that she was in New York legally to acquire money to pay for her legal fees back in Atlanta, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it true that you also testified that you thought that Star Marie had mental problems?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also admitted that Miss Jones, Star Marie Jones, did not actually show you any documents or anything that corroborated her story, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You also admitted that you never saw any medical records of my client before the interview aired, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. After you posted the September 19th video, you received a cease and desist letter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just going to read three stipulated facts. Plaintiff's prior counsel sent a letter dated September 19th, 2018. Kebby received the September 19th, 2018 letter, and Kebby did not remove the September 19th, 2018 video. All right. If we could please pull up plaintiff's 517, I'm showing you what's previously been marked as plaintiff's 517. Is this a copy of the cease and desist letter that you received?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Following receipt of that letter, did you post that letter online on the internet?
Yes, ma'am.
If we can please pull up,
Do you intend to tender 517?
We can't hear you.
Oh my goodness. Do you intend to tender 517?
yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'd move it into evidence.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
517 is admitted without objection.
Okay. If we can please pull up plaintiff's 317. Have you ever seen this document before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's your Instagram handle at the top there, correct?
Yes, ma'am. It was.
And you posted that photo and the text directly beneath it on Instagram, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd offer this exhibit into evidence.
Your Honor, objection. It contained hearsay within the document.
I'm sorry, the document that your client posted is hearsay?
The comment underneath from somebody else, Your Honor.
But this is your client's document, right?
This is a screenshot that the plaintiff got from the internet of my client's post. But underneath there are random people who we're not sure who they are, that they had their own opinion about whatever. So that's showing.
It's not hearsay that your client posted it, right?
No, the client post is not hearsay, but comments on undefined individuals are.
Well, the court admits the screenshot for what it is, an Instagram post that your client put on the internet. You're arguing that the comments that she posted are hearsay.
Not the
Excuse me?
not the comments she posted, Your Honor. The comments the Twitter followers posted.
You're arguing that the comments that are included within the client's post are hearsay. The document is admitted because it is a document screenshot of a document that your client posted on the internet. So it's admitted for the purpose only. Thank you. So so I'm sorry. This is 317.
Yes, Your Honor. Plaintiff's 317.
317 is admitted over objection.
Wow. And Miss Kebby, this is at the top of the page, that's a photo of the cut off cease and desist letter we were just looking at, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then underneath that, after it says 1,016 likes. It says unwind Tasha in bold. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's the text that you actually wrote and posted, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you tagged my client first, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said, I am Cardi B. I told you once, and I'm going to tell you again. You need to check at I am Love Star Marie 13. Why the F are you sending me a cease and desist? You're a clown. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you also said, tell your lawyer, as I had my team do in an email, that I'm going to wipe my effing ass with this piece of paper. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you followed up with saying, I'm a grown woman. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you say, if you have yet to send your lawyers after her and come after me, do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And isn't it true that you were saying that to encourage my client to go talk to Star Marie Jones if she had a problem, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then at the bottom, again, you hashtagged my client by putting hashtag Cardi B. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's so that when people searching Instagram specifically looked for my client, this would come up, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that helps drive people to your Instagram and your YouTube channel, your platform in general, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After you sent this, after you posted this, you didn't take the video down, correct?
No, ma'am.
And you actually kept promoting it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If we could please pull up plaintiff's 312. Is this a copy of an Instagram post that you posted on your Instagram channel?
Yes, ma'am.
And you posted this on 9/20, correct?
It doesn't have a date on it.
Do you see the date at the top left-hand corner of the page? 9/24/18?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at the top right, it says posted 4 days ago. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so would that refresh your recollection that you posted this on September the 20th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And that's the day after you received the cease and desist and posted it on the internet, correct?
I don't have the exact date of the
Oh
cease
my
and desist.
Lord. Ooh. The letter we were looking at was just dated September 19th, right?
May I see that date?
Oh my God.
Sure. We can pull it up again. Can we please pull up plaintiff's 517? Does this refresh your recollection when you received the cease and desist letter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the promotion that we just saw, and if we could go back to plaintiff's 312, please. So this was the day after you received the cease and desist letter, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The 20th. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd offer plaintiff's 312 into evidence.
Your Honor, defense object. And again, this document contained inadmissible hearsay.
Lord have mercy.
The court admits 312 over objection and states that 312 is admitted for what it is, which is a post on the defendant's Instagram account. I may not have specifically said as it relates to 317 or 312, which is the particular document. The jury should ignore any comments that are made that are not attributable to the defendant herself. So it's admitted.
Okay, Miss Katie. In this exhibit, what we're seeing on the left is actually a screenshot of your YouTube. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at the lower left-hand corner, that has your YouTube channel title, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So somebody who found this post on Instagram could very easily find your YouTube channel, correct?
Sometimes.
But the purpose of screenshotting it with that included is so they were able to find your YouTube channel, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the portion of this exhibit to the right, this where after it says unwind with Tasha in bold, that's the portion you actually, well, the first part of that, that's the portion you wrote, correct?
Where it says new video alert?
Yes, where it says new video alert down to the hashtag Star Marie, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the portion that you wrote and published.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in this you said new video alert, link in bio, or visit unwindtashak.com. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and link in bio means that if they go to your Instagram page, they will actually find a link there that leads to your website, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And that was so that people who saw this and wanted to see it easily could very easily just click on the link in your bio in your Instagram and go to this video, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then you also said here, grab your, and then there are some symbols. Can you tell me what those symbols are?
I believe one is a wine glass and the other is someone running. And I'm not sure what the other sign is. I haven't used that sign before then. Sometimes when Instagram changes or iPhone or Samsung changes emojis, they show up different. So I'm not sure what that one is.
Okay. But you were kind of intending to say grab your wine, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's one of your signatures in your channel. Is that while you are delivering videos, you're typically having a glass of wine, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you encourage your viewers to do the same, correct?
At their discretion.
Okay. So you said grab your wine because this story is hella funny. Hurry up. It's on the channel. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you were encouraging viewers to go to the channel.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then I will also note that you again hashtag my client twice in this post, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any difference between those two hashtags and how a search would work in Instagram?
No. Just when we're detailing numbers as entertainment news sites, we all use hashtags just to search engine the name in the story.
Okay. All right. The day you published the original Star Marie Jones video, excuse me, the Star Marie Jones interview, you also posted a second video later that day, right?
I don't recall.
Okay. Could we please take a look at Plaintiff's 519? And before we play this, Your Honor, I will offer that this was stipulated to by request for admission number one, and I'd offer it into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
59 is admitted without objection.
Go ahead. All right. So in that video, we just heard you refer to yourself as a journalist, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it true that you've given testimony in this case that you're not a journalist, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also admitted under oath at your deposition that when you have been telling your viewers that you get paid to be a journalist, that's not true, correct?
I don't recall that statement. Can you remind me?
If we can please look at page 66 of your November 19th deposition, which is the one in front of you. You can start at line 7. When you have been telling your viewers that you get paid to be a journalist, that's not true, right? The answer of course, because I'm not a journalist. No. So I'm not a graduated journalist. No.
No, I have not graduated.
You gave that testimony, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And in that video, when you were talking about the video having gone viral before, you're referring to the video that Star Jones originally posted, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but isn't it true also that you posted a video repeating those statements and then, as we've just heard you testify, promoted it and encouraged people to view it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you also said in that video that if it's not true, it's quote, straight effing defamation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you also said, and you specifically made that statement with reference to if someone called you a cokehead, said you had herpes or prostituted, correct?
In that particular video?
Yes, in that video.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, what was the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And you also in that video told Cardi to handle that legally, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And to get her lawyers on it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when you published this video, you were talking to Cardi, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I was responding to her.
Okay, but this video was published after you had received a cease and desist letter to you, correct?
So this video was published when? Is this what we're referencing right here in the video we just watched?
Uh-huh,
So the cease and desist letter came on the 19th,
correct.
which is the day after the video dropped. And this video, I think, okay, I'm confused on the dates now.
Well, when you said she was coming for you, you were talking about the fact that you had just received a letter from her lawyer, right?
No, she came for me before that letter. We were already going back and forth on Instagram.
Okay, so you wanted her lawyer to handle it, and then you did get a cease and desist letter at some point that day, right?
If that, we weren't, it was a couple of days. So on the 19th, yes, we got the cease and desist letter.
And this video was published on the 19th. This was later the day you published the Star Marie video, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so at some point that day, you did get the cease and desist letter.
This, no, I can I correct her, Your Honor? Can I correct her statement? Because this video right here, because I have on the same outfit that I had on when I did the interview. So no, this was not published on the day that the interview dropped.
Well,
So you have to give me the date to this video. Then I'll know. But I have on the same clothes that I had on because I did it that night after I published the trailer. And Cardi B got in the comments and was in my DMs and started addressing.
okay. So your testimony is that this came out. Your testimony is that you published a trailer before you published the video and the interview itself, and that Cardi got in the comments, correct?
Yes, ma'am, in my DMs.
In your DM,
Yes, not in my comments.
and that then you published the video after that, after she was already communicating with you, telling this wasn't true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so your testimony actually is my client also told you that the statements weren't true before you published the interview, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that before you published the interview, if this video is before you published the interview, that you were already saying if it's not true, it's straight defamation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, also in that video, you make some reference to saying that Star Marie had an opinion, correct? Please answer the question yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right. If we could please look at plaintiff's 535. And before I offer this in, I'd like to read a stipulated fact into the record that on September the 21st, 2018, defendants published a video on YouTube. And Your Honor, Plaintiff's 535 was admitted by request for admission number 20.
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
535 is admitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we could please, all right. If we could please start the video at, you know what? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can I confirm one thing really quickly?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. If we can pause here. So in the beginning of this video, you are talking about showing receipts for the Star Jones interview, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You already admitted earlier The star didn't actually give you anything to corroborate what she said in the interview, correct?
No, ma'am. Cardi,
I'm asking you if you testified that about Star Jones.
no, ma'am.
Okay, and you also told your viewers that if shit isn't together, you'd issue an apology, correct?
That is correct.
And you're referring to the fact that if you had misstated something, you would intend to give an apology, correct?
Within reason.
Oh my. Okay, and then you said, but we're not giving any apologies, right?
That is
Wow.
correct.
Okay, and it's correct that you have never apologized to my client publicly about the statements in the Star Marie video, correct?
No, ma'am.
No, you have not, correct?
No, ma'am. No, I haven't.
Okay, and then you repeated here that everything you said, everything this Star said was accurate, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. If we can please, actually, let me ask you this. Had you received additional information from between the time you posted the video of the original interview and this video?
Concerning what exactly?
No,
Oh,
had
I'm
I
sorry. Had I received, repeat the question. I'm sorry.
sure. Had you received any additional information between the time you posted the Star Marie Jones interview and the time of this interview
Concerning what exactly?
concerning the statements in Star Marie Jones's video?
Yes, I received additional information.
Okay, and the additional information you're referring to is that you talked to some of my clients' old coworkers, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were you intending to convey to viewers that because of this additional information you received, that you believe that everything that you published before was accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you hadn't actually received anything to corroborate the statements that my client had herpes, that my client was a prostitute, or that my client used cocaine. Correct? Yes or no, please.
I can't answer yes or no to that question because
Do you recall giving that testimony in this case?
Hold on, hold on. It's got to be one at a time.
okay.
So she was still talking. Let her finish what she said. If you have no objection to the response, then make the objection. Make that objection. So the question was, you haven't had not received anything to verify those three allegations, and your answer was,
No. For the particular video, no.
Thank you. Okay. If we can look at timestamp 330,
what's the number again?
we're in plaintiff,
Still in the video, same video?
yeah, same video. I'm just moving to a different time code, Your Honor.
All right.
Can you pause? So, the interview you're referring to in this clip was your interview with Star Marie when you said the interview was highly requested, correct?
The interview? Yes, ma'am.
So, you were trying to convey to the people viewing your channel that it had been highly requested that you do that interview, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you admitted earlier that no one actually reached out to you and asked you to do the video, correct?
You mean in my testimony? In my deposition?
Yes, in your testimony at your deposition.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what you said to your viewers is not actually true.
It depends in what context because No one reached out to me personally, but the viewers were basically on the internet
What?
stating do the
Lies, I tell you,
interview.
lies.
But no one knows me personally because they're
Oh
viewers.
my God.
Lies,
Okay.
lies, I tell you, lies.
So they weren't talking to you. They were just people on the internet.
Yes, ma'am. They weren't talking to me directly. On Instagram or on live, people will like tag you and say, "Hey, unwind with Tasha K." It happens all the time because I'm a news reporter.
Oh,
And they'll want me to follow up on the story. So that's what I did. But if you're saying personally, no. No one called me or anything. No, ma'am.
but you believe that tagging you is a form of communication, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It comes to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And a tag, just to differentiate between the two, a tag is when you at and then put the person's handle, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then a hashtag is when you could hashtag, put a hashtag and then a word, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the first thing we talked about, the tag, that is a form of communication that brings it to that user's attention, whoever you tagged, right?
It depends in what context.
Oh my God. But in the context of people tagging you, that came to your attention because they were tagging you. That's what you just said, correct?
Because they use the at sign, but a hashtag doesn't personally contact anyone.
Oh my God. No, correct. That's what I'm saying. Does the at symbol plus the person's handle, a tag, let's differentiate between the two here. A tag contacts someone, whereas a hashtag is just how something can turn up in the research results, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. If we can move to plaintiff's 585. Your Honor, I'd like this to be just be shown to the deponent first for a moment.
Okay.
And actually, if you don't mind, let me just ask opposing counsel one thing. Thank you, Your Honor. I just spoke with opposing counsel and I'd offered this in by stipulation. It's actually a duplicate. There was a technical problem with the first video. This hasn't been part of the request for admission, but opposing counsel had agreed and stipulated it.
And this is P-585.
That's correct.
No objection.
585 is admitted without objection.
Okay. If we could please go to 725. If you can pause. All right. When we just heard you talking in this video, talking about that you were talking to Lovely T, is that Lovely T? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And that's the same person who you spoke with before you actually reached out to Star Marie, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Just asking her if she knew Star Marie when she uploaded the video.
Okay. And you said you talked to her a few times that weekend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're talking about the weekend before you did the interview. Is that correct?
I talked to her twice. So once when she uploaded the original interview of Star Marie Jones, making allegations and telling her story. And then the second time after I interviewed Star Marie, because she informed me that she had received some information that counteracts what she was saying. And so that's when I spoke with her.
Okay. But that was before. It was after you did the interview, but before you published the video, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
All right. That's when you had this conversation with Lovely T, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in that conversation, you're saying that Lovely T informed you that she had some information to, I think the word you used was counteract what Star Marie Jones had said. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you recall giving deposition testimony in this case where you said, and so Lovely T stated, okay, I just wanted to make sure because I have receipts on her that's going to debunk some of the things, but I needed to know some of the things that she had said.
Can I see the full conversation?
Sure, whatever.
Thanks. What page?
It's actually a different transcript. Hold on one moment.
Okay.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
So what date is this one?
That's the 19th.
The 19th? This is the 18th.
It's on the cover.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
Perfectly fine. Okay. If we can please look at page 73, and I'll give you the line number, line 19 through 23. Does that refresh your recollection that you gave the testimony I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So after you recorded the video and before you published it, you became aware that there was at least some additional information that some of the things Star Marie was saying might not be true, correct?
Very vague. She didn't go into detail, but yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you recall talking about what you and Lovely T did in terms of the release of your, excuse me, the publication of your interview and then her release of the information debunking it as a setup?
Not as a setup.
You don't recall saying that in the video?
I don't recall.
Okay, all right. If we could take a look at Exhibit 651.
So let's do this. Let's take a break because we've been going a little bit more than an hour and a half. We'll take a break until 4. We'll come back and we will finish up with about another hour, if that's enough, okay? If the jury would go with the court security, we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
All rise.
Penny.
All right. We'll take a recess until 4 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court deputy.
Court stands in recess.
Are we taking a break?
Second.
All rise.
Let
This
me, hold on,
honorable.
wait. Let me check everybody's pulse in the chat. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Can we get the likes up, please? We got 130 people in the chat, and we need you guys to get the likes up. Get the likes up. Do us that favor. And guys, give a hand to my wonderful actresses. And, we're doing this thing, aren't we? All right. And then Byron said, Byron runs out the courtroom. All right, guys. Hello, everybody, and we have the privilege of having Mr. Byron. He was famous earlier in the thing. We heard your name all over the place, sir.
Oh yeah, he missed it last night
Yeah,
because
you missed
his name was all over this transcript.
it. All right, guys, y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's
All,
get back to our position, y'all.
all rise. The honorable court is again in session. Please be seated and court comes to order.
All right, Miss Kiwi, if you could come on back up, please.
Your Honor, is it okay if I move the mic a little bit so that it's closer to me?
As long as it still picks you up, it doesn't matter.
All rise. Be seated and come to order.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Okay.
Thank you. So I believe I had just asked you if you recall making a statement that Lovely T would come in with rebuttal. So it was like a whole MFing setup.
That was just a part of the statement. That's not the whole statement.
Do you recall making a statement that includes that? Do you want me to read the whole thing in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you recall saying that interview was just kind of something. I was like, well, shit. The shit is funny. Let me put her on my platform so Lovely T will come in with a rebuttal. So it was like a whole MFing setup. I'm going to put the picture up. You tell her she's lying. It was perfect. Do you recall saying that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said that in a video that you published on Instagram, correct?
I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube.
But you published it on the internet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let me ask a question if I can. And I thought about this when it occurred, but you just never know what people might know. A question a juror mentioned somewhere, I guess, in the hallway, that they didn't know what meant. So you might want to ask that that term be designated or answered.
Absolutely. Why don't we cover that now? Do you know what the term DM means?
Direct message. It's when someone messages you on social media like Instagram. It's a private messaging center that's created.
So it's like a text message, but it's through your Instagram account if it's on Instagram, correct?
Yes and no. Text messages are more private and personal with people who have your number, but Instagram direct messages is open to anyone. So anybody in the world can send you a message.
But
Whatever.
it does go directly to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on Twitter, the same thing. Direct messages that users can send directly to you through the Twitter application would also be called a DM. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you were saying they're more public, is part of what you're saying that somebody could just find your handle on Instagram and then send you a DM as opposed to a text message where you'd actually have to have their phone number first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. All right. I believe we were looking at page 585. If we could cue that up to 812 approximately. All right. If you can pause. All right. So in this video, you just said Star has shown me some stuff. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But earlier, you do recall testifying in this case that Star had not actually given you any corroborating documentation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. If you can keep playing it. All right. If we can pause this. Okay, when you're talking about receipts, are you talking about documentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you receive, isn't it true that part of what you receive in preparing stories sometimes are screenshots?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
I said, isn't it true that part of what you receive when you're preparing stories sometimes are screenshots?
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's hard to hear you. Sorry.
I don't want to be presumptuous, so let me just have you go ahead and ask the witness what screenshots are.
Sure. Is a screenshot essentially a digital photograph of, or purports to be a digital photograph of another document or something like that?
No, ma'am. A screenshot is what you take. Like if I post something on Instagram, I can screen it and save it. So that's what a screenshot is. On any social media platform, you can really do it on anything phone calls, emails, whatever.
She just said
So
that.
I know. So it's like a photo.
Yes. It's like a yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, but you also recall acknowledging that screenshots can be photoshopped, correct?
There are apps that you can't Photoshop a screenshot.
Yes, you
There
can.
are apps where people create actual fake looking screenshots. So there's a difference.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If we could go to 1405.
Guys,
Guys.
are we supposed
Sorry, we have no drawer. So anyone. Guys, are we supposed to be able to see this right now?
the video? Is it not showing up on your screens?
We don't have anything on our screen.
It's been admitted.
It's been admitted?
Yeah, this was admitted.
I'm sorry. Why don't you back up at least to the start and this last clip?
Yeah.
Your Honor, can I get my water?
Sure.
My throat is dry.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Hold on just a second.
My water. That's not mine. That's Sater's. Mine is right over there on the table where my husband is sitting. Thank you.
Wow. All right. Can you cue it up to 812? I believe that was where we started with this session. All right. You can pause now. Okay. That was the first clip. And then why don't we start this second clip over? I think we were going to 1405. Okay. If you can pause this. So, is what you're talking about here that you believe that these comments confirm that my client knew Star Marie Jones?
Yes, this was an actual dancer that Cardi gave me to research and get her side of the story from. And her name is Ash Cash Legit. This is actual a thread that was taken out of my comment section under the actual post.
Okay, but what you're saying you understood was that the two of them, meaning Cardi and Star Marie, knew one another because they worked together, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in this one of the people earlier, when we talked about your testimony, where you said you talked to some of her prior coworkers, but they didn't confirm the herpes, the prostitution, or the cocaine use.
Yes, ma'am.
You recall that.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is part of what you were referring to when you said you went out and talked to some people and then you continued to post about the interview, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. If we can please go to 3911. Okay, if we can pause here. All right. And so here again, you're talking about a cease and desist letter that you received. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's the one you received from Cardi's attorney.
At the time, I didn't believe that it came from an actual attorney because it wasn't signed.
Okay, but you understand now that it did, correct?
I believe so. I mean, you're a different attorney, so from the one that sent the first one, and it wasn't notarized.
Do you know if have your attorneys ever sent a cease and desist letter on your behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they notarize it typically?
They signed it.
They sign it, but not notarize it.
Yes, they sign every cease and desist.
So you don't think the cease and desist letters have to be notarized?
Well, that cease and desist didn't actually have my correct name on it, and it wasn't signed. So I didn't take it as a serious cease and desist that came from an attorney. So I thought it was something that was just drafted by anybody that was sent to me just to stop the story. Penny,
Where
where
did
is
it
Penny?
go? Hold on a second. Let me go get it.
So the question was, you don't think, cause the cease and desist have to be notarized? What's your answer?
No, they don't have to be notarized, just signed. I got that. I mixed that up. I apologize.
Okay, if we can queue up the Cardi 006, and I'm going to find the number right now.
What's the number?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Give me 1 second. It's plaintiff's 524. And Your Honor, this document, this video has been, well, this recording has been stipulated by request for admission number 6.
You're tendering 524.
Yes.
Any objections?
No objection.
524 is admitted without objections.
And I'd like to just read one stipulated fact into the record, and that is on April 25th of 2019, defendants published a recording of a phone call Kibi had with Lovely T, and that was defined as the Lovely T recorded call. All right, if you could start playing this for a moment, if we can just pause, just so we can identify for the members of the jury and the members of the courtroom whose voice is whose. In this recording that you just heard, you said, "Hey, you got a second?" Right?
Uh-huh.
And the more we'll say softer voice on the other end of the line that picked up and said, "Hello," that's Lovely T, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And in this recording, the recording of the call that you testified about earlier that you had with her on a weekend after you recorded the interview with Star Marie Jones, but before you published it.
No, this is not that call.
This is not that call.
No, ma'am.
There's a different call.
Yes, there was a different call, but I didn't record that call. I recorded this one after the initial interview was published when she decided to break ties with me and side with Cardi because Cardi had reached out to her. She was a little starstruck.
Wow. Okay. Why don't we start playing it at, oh, I'm sorry. Is this not up on the court screen?
It's up on the screen. I'm seeing a photograph, so I guess
They can see it?
they can see it. I just emailed about why these went off.
No, that's fine as long as everybody else's is working. Okay. If you can start playing at around 4:20, please. Let's pause for a moment. So, in this call, you're saying that the call you had with Lovely T, when she originally told you that she had some information to debunk Star Marie's video, that's not the call that we're listening to now, but that is the call you're discussing with her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And the call you're discussing is the one that you had prior to the publication of the actual interview.
And that particular part, but that's a 2-hour call right there.
Okay, all right. Let's go to 1017. Actually, let me ask you a question before that starts playing. At this point, is what's going on this call that the two of you are, you're saying you disagree with her about what was said on the other call?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
That's not what's in that call. You can play the entire call and hear exactly what I said. But we were arguing about a multitude of things. But no, that's not the gist of it. The gist of it was the harassing and bullying that went down of Star Marie Jones. That's what we were referencing.
But one of the things you were talking about in that call just there is that she at least said, Tasha, I never told you to publish anything.
Can you play that part, please? And play the full context so I'll know what I'm referencing because I don't want to speak without knowing.
Oof.
Sure. You want to start at 420 again? Okay. So the fake news, you're saying everybody is saying I'm putting out fake news, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's referencing the Star Marie interview, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you were just saying, but I got the story from you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're saying I got the story from you, Lovely T.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, keep going. All right. So in there, what you're saying to her is that you're saying that Lovely T had information from Cardi's team before she dropped the video, and you're saying you didn't give that to me, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you referencing earlier when you testified about your conversation where she said she had information debunking it? You said you didn't know exactly what it was. Is that what you're referencing in this conversation?
Can you repeat the call? I got distracted with not the call, the question. Please. Sorry.
Sure. When you, in this conversation, when you're talking to her about, you said, I'm sorry. Could we just play the clip back again? All right, let's pause. So, what I was asking is when you're talking to her about the information that you're saying she had from Cardi, that she let you drop it anyway, you're saying that's the information she had when the two of you originally had that call where she told you she had some information debunking Star Marie's interview, correct?
I do not understand your question. I'm sorry. It was really long.
Can you read back?
Can you
Oh,
rephrase the question?
oh my God.
I want to understand the information you're talking about with her. You said you had information from Cardi's team that you didn't share with me before I dropped it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to understand the information that you are referencing. Is it true that that information is the information that you said she had debunking the video before you posted it?
Well, I didn't really know she was going to debunk the video. That's not what we talked about. She said she wanted to know when we had our original phone call after I interviewed Star Marie Jones about the allegations she made on the previous video. She wanted to make sure that I felt that she was truthful because she had received some things from Cardi's team in the internet that said otherwise.
Okay, hold on a second. Can we get the likes up, guys? These ladies are reading really hard, and can we get the likes? Could we show some appreciation here? Come on, y'all. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Y'all can get some water while you're at it. Because she said she want to get some water, so go get some water, y'all.
All
Her
right.
throat, her throat's dry.
Can somebody tell me where we're at?
We are on page 141 at I just lost my line debunking it.
Two,
10?
two.
2. I thought we were
Line
on 10.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
141, line 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. How much we have now? How many likes we have now? Okay. Come on. Can we get one more like? How many likes do we have? Come on now, y'all. Y'all sitting here enjoying this inter reenactment, and you guys can't hit the like buttons. Come on now. I know winos are in the bushes. Come on, winos. You just don't be mad.
All right.
Just help us. Help us out. Get the likes up.
Mhm.
Get the likes up, winos. I know you guys are in here.
Okay.
All right,
Ready?
y'all ready, guys?
And so that was the end. That is all we talked about. We didn't talk about what she had. I didn't know what she had until her video went out because we worked together. It was like Fox News against CNN. So I'm on this side, she's on that side.
But you knew she had it. She told you. You just testified earlier that she had. She told you she had information debunking it.
But I didn't know what or to what extent.
Okay, you didn't know to what extent. Did you ask her for it?
No, because we don't do that as bloggers.
Okay, thank you. Move to strike. Non responsive, Your Honor.
Objection
Penny.
is overruled. Silence will remain.
All right. If we can go to 1017. All right. If we can pause for a minute. Okay. So in this video, excuse me, in this recording, we just heard you admit that you believe the star has a mental illness. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you recall you also said, here's my thing. All these strippers are lying.
Yes, ma'am, including Cardi B.
So I was going to say in your deposition testimony, you recall giving testimony that when you said all these strippers are lying, you were referring to Cardi B and the co-workers of hers that you spoke to and Star Marie Jones, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you thought all of them were lying.
Yes, they told some lies and some truths. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. If we could go to 1604. All right. If we can pause just there. So you understand at the time that, at least in your mind, you thought both Star Marie Jones and Cardi was lying, correct?
Can I provide context, please?
You've to answer the question
Well, you just broke
before
up.
you got to answer the question before you.
Something's wrong with your phone, Penny.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, so yes. And
Thank you.
You can explain your answer.
oh, I can explain my answer. Okay. Star Marie had told another blogger that I offered her a radio, I guess, deal at a station that I had contracted to record the interview. And so when I was referring to Star Marie lying, I was talking about that because that's the information me and Lovely T were referencing in this call that you didn't play. And so when it came to Cardi B denounced on social media that she did not know Star Marie and then later made a video and said she did. So this recording here, this 2-hour call was a come to Jesus meeting on everything that we had received from social media. All the strippers, Cardi B, Star Marie, and all the other bloggers that were in play because it was a firestorm of media once the interview came out.
And do you recall giving testimony? This video was released on April of 2020. Do you recall giving testimony that you think you recorded it approximately 6 months before that?
Around that time, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that would have been like October of 2019.
I can't say. I think I told in the testimony, I couldn't remember to be exact. I mean, in the deposition.
I'm sorry, I actually misstated that. The stipulated fact was that on April 25th, you published the recorded call. And so you think that this was recorded approximately 6 months before that. So that would be October of 2018.
I was just throwing numbers out there to you because you wanted an exact date and I couldn't give it to you. So, yeah, it was an old call.
Okay. So when you told me that it was approximately 6 months, you were just throwing numbers out there?
I told you that because you kept asking me the same question over and over in the deposition. So I just threw a number out there to get you to move on because you were frustrated. Well, you were frustrated that I couldn't remember.
Okay. So when you were frustrated in your deposition, you just said things. You weren't sure that they were true.
No, that's not what I said. I just said 6 months per se. I didn't give an exact statement. We can read the statement. Can we refer to it?
We'll get there.
What does 6 months per se mean to you?
Just, it was recorded months back. So she wanted an exact date and I couldn't give her one. And I believe this was on the first day of my deposition where I had never been through a deposition. So I was nervous and her questions were very combative towards me. So I was really frustrated in the deposition. And I admitted that. So when she was trying to get an exact date, I couldn't give her one. So I got frustrated and I said 6 months or something like that. So it wasn't definite and I made that clear.
I did just ask you if it was approximately 6 months, but we'll move on. All right. So you just said that what you were referring to when you were talking about Star Marie Jones lying was that at this point, Star Marie Jones was actually lying about something that you had said to her, right?
She took it out of context for the conversation. For the conversation happened. But from her perspective, she explained it wrong.
But you just said that when you were on that video talking about lying, that that's what you were talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
That she said that you had offered her a job and that's not what you said. And when you called that lying, that's what you were talking about, correct?
Yes, ma'am. In reference to that call, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you at least at this point in time knew that Star Marie was potentially lying about your interactions with her.
About that particular statement she made, but not about other things that she had said.
And you also testified earlier that when you were referencing all the strippers and you thought all of them were lying, that that also included Cardi, Ash, Cash, Legit, and the other people you talked to, and Star Marie Jones, correct?
It was a multitude of strippers. I believe it was like four that I spoke to, including her makeup artist. So everyone told lies and truths. So I can't give you a definite answer on that because some things they did lie about and some things they did tell the truth on. But we're talking about six people in range that I had conversation with to corroborate Star Marie's story at Cardi B's request.
So, right. But my point is that you at least thought that all of them were lying about something, correct?
About something. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall also giving testimony that you said in this phone call that you had said, as far as the herpes and shit, I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you said, as far as the herpes shit, I don't know, you were saying on this call that you didn't have any personal knowledge of whether or not my client has herpes or not, correct?
Not to, I didn't have any paperwork. No, ma'am.
Well, That's not how you answered the question at your deposition, is it?
Can I look at the deposition, please?
Sure. Let's look at November the 30th.
Okay. November the 30th? Okay.
Okay, starting at line 11. The question was, and when you said, as
I'm
far,
sorry, Sarah. What page?
oh, I'm sorry, 44.
Okay.
The question was, and when you said, as far as the herpes and shit, and I said, I apologize for cursing. I'm just repeating the words. You said, I understand. I said, not trying to be rude. When you said, as far as the herpes and shit, I don't know. Were you saying that you did not have personal knowledge of whether or not my client has herpes or not? And you said, yes, I was. Did you give that testimony?
You said it was Monday, November 30th? Because I'm on page 44 and I don't see, all I see is about emails and stuff that was searched.
I'm sorry, page 45. I apologize.
Okay.
Starting at line 11.
What line again? I'm sorry.
11.
Okay. And when you said, as far as the herpes and shit, I'm sorry for cursing. I'm just repeating the words. I don't know what context. Am I allowed to read the context so I'll know how to answer that? Because that is, that's your question, correct?
Yeah. And then the next question and answer where you ended with, yes, I was.
I answered that question. I understood because I was referencing our entire conversation.
If you could please look, if you could please read the lines in order and let me know if you gave that deposition testimony.
Okay. So from 11 to what number am I supposed to read?
20.
Okay. And when you said, as far as herpes and shit, and I apologize for cursing, I'm just repeating words, I answered. I understood. You said, not trying to be rude. When you said, as far as the herpes and shit, I don't know. Were you saying that you did not have personal knowledge of whether or not my client has herpes or not? And I answered, yes, I was.
Okay, so you did give that testimony, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and in a clip we listened to a couple of minutes ago, you talked about saying Cardi has an entire team to protect her. If people defame her or anything, that's Cardi's job. Do you remember hearing that?
Yes, ma'am. I said that.
Okay, and do you recall giving testimony in this case? Did you think it's okay for you to put out information about my client that's false?
I don't. I don't understand the context. And when I said that, can we refer to it, please?
Sure.
Okay.
Going to go to the 1119 transcript.
You said November 19th?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what page?
266.
366?
266.
Okay. And what line?
Okay, starting at line 15. The question was, do you think it's okay for you to put information out there about my client that is false? Answer, if it's an opinion piece, yes.
Yes.
An opinion. And when you use the word opinion piece, you mean things that you're saying that other people have alleged. Answer, correct. Okay. And so it's okay for you to put out stories on your platform that you know are false that defame my client as long as someone else is the one that gave you the information? Answer. If I feel that a story is entertaining and what the public wants, I will put the story out in the manner in which I want to put it out. So it's my platform. Yes. Did you give that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If we go to 24, approximately 24 minutes and 59 seconds, please. Can you pause for a minute? When you just said she was definitely manipulating that damn interview, you were talking about Star Marie Jones, correct?
I don't know in which context you were in, but yes, I assume so. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Can you start it over? That way you can hear the whole clip in context since I asked you a question in the middle. All right, let's pause there. Okay, even though you said in this video that I didn't know you had receipts debunking it, as you admitted earlier, you did know that at least Lovely T had told you she had information debunking it, even if she didn't know what it was, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then we just heard you say, I didn't care because here's the thing, it's up to the fans, it's up to the viewers to make their own decisions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so when you put out content that other people provide to you think that people should just decide that they believe themselves, correct?
It depends on what context I've put out. Information piece is, I'm sorry. It depends on what context I've put out. Information piece is on. So every story is different. So I can't say yes or no to that question because every single story is different.
Well, let's talk about.
But I was talking about this particular story and based on what we had at the time, but the story evolved as months went.
Okay, and when you say it evolved, you mean you got more information and more letters and things like that?
No, I'm talking about as far as you know, where getting the story, Star Marie alleges the information about your client, and then I do the interview. Lovely T receives information that she got from fans later. I found out wasn't from Cardi with photoshopped receipts. And then I later found out by your client uploading a video that she did in fact know Star Marie. So she said she didn't know her and then later came back and said she did know her. So it evolved. It was a series of videos that came out that added different context. I'm sorry. I should address, well, that added different context to the initial story in which Star Marie told when she uploaded her first live alleging her relationship with Cardi B.
Okay, but part of what you're talking about here also is your interview, correct?
Part of it, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and when you're talking, so you just said something interesting. You said that it came out that Cardi B did know Star Marie, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
When you were deposed, you told me that prior to doing what you do now, one of the places you worked was Seasons 52. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's a restaurant, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I presume you had coworkers at this restaurant, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you knew some of them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did all of the coworkers you worked with have intimate details of your personal life, intimate details of your sex life, and things like that? Is that something you shared with your coworkers?
Some of them, yes. I've always been very open about myself.
Okay. Is that something that you think everyone shares with their coworkers?
I can't speak for everyone else. I'm only speaking for myself.
Okay. But your testimony is that because you believe Star Marie, because at some point you found out that my client had actually worked with her and knew her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Let's go to 2736. All right. Let's pause there for a second. Okay, so we just heard you say Cardi can handle getting dragged. Did you hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and dragged is a slang term for speaking negatively about someone or,
Criticized. That's the lingo for criticized.
all right, and you're saying Cardi can handle getting criticized because she has the resources. She can get therapy, medication, she can hire lawyers, do anything, correct?
Yes. She's in the limelight. She's an entertainer. So entertainers typically get criticized and they know the business that they're coming into just as public figures do.
But in your deposition, you went further than that, right? You said that you think it's okay for people to defame my client and that it's her job to get people to take that stuff down. Do you recall giving that testimony?
Can I see that? Where I said that so I can know what context in which I said it?
Do you recall giving the testimony, Miss Keeby?
I don't recall. May I review it, please?
Okay, if we can look at 263,
Which one? November 30th or
November the 19th.
the 19th? November 30th or the 19th?
November 19th,
Okay. And what page?
263.
And what number?
I'm going to start at line 25. Question. I'll wait for you to get there.
You said line.
25. Question was, okay, is it your belief that it is okay for people to defame my client and it's her job to get people to take that stuff down? Your answer, yes. Is that your testimony that you gave in this deposition in this lawsuit under oath? Yes or no, please?
You said 262, November 19th?
No, I said 263 beginning. I'm sorry. No, I said 263 beginning at line 25
263, line 25.
and going to 264 line 5. And I'd just like an answer to the question of whether or not you gave that testimony.
Okay. Is it your belief, okay, for people to defame my client, that's her job to get people to take it down? Yes.
Great. Okay, if we can go to 4158. All right, let's pause. So, in this clip that we just listened to, when you're talking about the person who we knew as two educated Black women, this woman has a mental illness. You heard that.
Yes, ma'am. That was my opinion. I didn't have any facts on that, but that was my opinion.
Right. You believe that even if you knew or you believe that she had a mental illness, that you felt it was, quote, effed up for you to exploit her. Is that right?
Yes, I later found out after the interview.
Well, in this call, you just said, even if we knew, correct?
Yeah, but I was speaking hypothetically.
Okay. So even though earlier in the call you already admitted that you believe she had a mental illness, now you're saying you're talking hypothetically?
When I say I believed, I didn't say I know. I said I believed. That's my opinion.
And I'm asking you what your belief was.
That she had a mental illness after, Your Honor. This will open the door if I go into context. And I don't want to do that because I heard your ruling earlier. But
So the question was, did you believe that it wasn't why did you believe that? It was, did you believe that?
yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go to 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds. All right, let's pause there. All right, so one of the things we just heard in this video is you acknowledging that you again did think that Star Marie was lying about some of the things she said in the video, correct?
Yeah. I mean, the video was 45 minutes long. I mean, it was, yeah.
And have you ever issued a retraction or a statement taking down the portions that you think she's lying about?
Well, I was talking
Yes or no, please.
in reference to her telling
Your Honor,
her viewers,
I asked a very simple question.
not for that. No, ma'am, because this is a different context.
So I think she answered it now. Do you want me to intercede now that you've gotten the answer?
No, I'm fine with the answer. Okay, Your Honor, I'm probably going to move on to another line of questioning. I know it's 4:55 and I don't know what time you're planning on ending today.
So if you're going to change subtopics, then we'll adjourn for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, so we'll adjourn for the evening. I want to talk just a little bit. I guess I want to preach a little bit about similar to my discussions with you yesterday about not talking about the case. The temptation is probably even a little greater today, for at the very least, for people that will see this evening, to ask you what you heard. Yesterday, you just knew who the people were and what the general allegations were. But today, you know more about it than you did yesterday, and I think it will be natural for others to want to request for you to give them sort of a rundown of what you heard. That won't be appropriate. And you know, I won't make this speech every day, but this will be the last time that it will be something new. And the something new is now had testimony. I trust that that all you will adhere to our oath, your oath, which requires that you obey the court's instructions according to the law, that you won't talk about the case. I hope you have a good evening. I'm going to ask you, we'll return tomorrow at 9:30 and we'll see you then. Leave your notes in the juror deliberation room, please.
All rise.
And thank you for letting us know that the monitors were on. I trust you'll always tell me, okay? All right, thank you, sir. All right, ma'am, can you step down if you would? Not sit down. You can go back. You can go on back.
No, I'm putting my on my shoes.
I'm sorry. I thought you were just getting comfortable. Why don't you keep your mask with you and then tomorrow morning just put it back on once you come up? You don't have to take it home, but
I'll bring another one because this one is kind of uncomfortable at the top.
you have a shield at home?
Yeah, it's an eyeglass shield. I can't wear it. I'll just wear
An eyeglass shield.
I can't put my
An eyeglass shield? Does it cover your face?
it does, but I can't put my eyeglasses over these eyeglasses because She's going to be asking me to read exhibits, so I just need my glasses.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. I do want to talk just a minute about what will happen when the plaintiff has finished with the with its questioning. Georgia has a procedural rule in this state of Georgia that says that a party can call their opposing party for cross examination, and there is no intervening questioning by defense counsel. I really haven't had this come up in a federal court. It's like I've probably tried 15 cases in the last 3 years, trying to look ahead to what the defendant's intentions will be as to your client once the plaintiff is finished. I really can't get a firm answer on the on that looking at federal rules. To me, it's an open question. I haven't done any case law search, but we've looked at the rules today. I suppose a lot of it is discriminatory, so here's what I've settled on, absent being pointed to some law otherwise, is that I'm going to allow the defendant to cross-examine, not to cross-examine, to examine their client after the plaintiff is finished. What her with her as to the matters brought up during the cross-examination by the plaintiff. I will also allow you to go into the other matters then if you wish, but if you go into other matters, then it's going to be subject to then further cross-examination before you're done. And I'm not going to give you a chance to then recall her later. So you have to make an election. Do you want to just cross her on the things she's testified to, or do you want to get her whole testimony out? I have discretions under the rule to allow that to happen if you look under, what's the rule number again? Rule 11, 611. Rule 611, because I can make decisions that
She disappeared.
Hmm.
preservations, but I'm not going to let you have two bites at the apple. I'm not going to let you go beyond the initial cross by the plaintiff and then call her again to do the same thing into other avenues. So you'll just have to make your decision at that point, at that time.
Your Honor, we plan on
Miss
rehabilitating.
is something. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, because she just
Hello?
started talking. Okay, I'm gonna unmute her. All right, she can't hear me. All right, I'm sorry, guys. Your Honor, we plan on rehabilitating, directing her on only the matter that the plaintiff has crossed her on, and then we will recall her in our case in chief.
Can she hear?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna do court for
And
now.
when you recall her in your case in chief, the items that you've questioned her about, likewise in the plaintiff's case, I'm not going to let you go over them again. It's going to be a one-time discussion, and that's it. Okay? Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right? Yes, ma'am.
The only.
That's
I'm
Miss
sorry.
Mac. The only thing I was going to ask is if Your Honor could just make a clear instruction for everyone about no discussing testimony while we're off for the evenings.
Sure. Well,
Since the testimony is ongoing and the witness is still under oath.
yes, if we're not talking, I'm not going to prevent counsel from talking to their client. I'm not going to do that.
That's not what I meant. I meant discussing matters that were examined because there was an issue in the deposition. That's the only reason I'm raising it.
Matters that are
I'm talking about the ongoing testimony, not trial strategy in general.
It's really kind of hard to police it. I mean, I can't prevent counsel and plaintiffs from talking. If we're talking about a third party witness, I can certainly say that there's no need to have ongoing counseling if a third party witness. But when we're talking about a client, there's a need for legal strategizing. And so if I said, well, you talk legal strategy, but you can't talk about your testimony, I'm just not sure how I police that. And if I think that they have talked about it, then what do I do about that? Because if they don't admit that they have, then I'm left in a quandary. Left in quandary. I mean, I don't exactly know how. I don't know how to deal with that, with what you're talking about. I mean, I understand your point, but that's part of when you call a witness later in the day who's a party, then that's, I guess, a risk that that you might not finish before you're done. And so they would then have some chance, just like at break, to talk with them.
No, I hear you. Like I said, there was an issue at the deposition, and it was agreed that part of what happened, it was stated on the record. I just didn't want to have that happen here. And usually, I apologize, Your Honor. Usually in New York, in federal court, that is an instruction that's given to witnesses.
Don't talk to themselves.
No, no, it's just that they can't discuss the testimony that was given in any attempts to change the answers or anything like that.
Well, we will know. I mean, if she comes back in the morning and she says, need to clarify, then she's going to be impeaching herself. Kind of a self impeachment, right? All of a sudden I've got to talk about stuff, change my story that I gave you yesterday. So, what can you believe or what can you not believe? Just like when you testify at a deposition to something and you come into court and you start changing your testimony, you self impeach yourself. I don't think it's particularly helpful, Miss Keeby, to deny things that you know are on record, and then you give the plaintiff's attorney an opportunity to just simply read off what you said previously. It makes it sound like you're either not being honest or that you're just difficult to deal with, or both. Particularly when your persona in your videos is totally different than your persona in court. I mean, that may apply not just to you, it could apply to the plaintiff too, but it is what it is. And so I don't know exactly what I can say to the defendant that I ever could enforce, and that's my point, because they do have a right to talk about their case, unlike a third party witness where they don't have the right nor the need. So I guess I'll put it this way. I will leave it up to the attorneys to comply with the professional code of Georgia, okay?
Your Honor,
Nothing beyond that.
I just need to clarify. I wanted to ask a clarification about previously, about what we talked about with us directing our client during.
Okay.
So, because right now, like a little bit, piece of stuff is being played. So, if we have her on the questioning, would we then be prevented from playing the full version of that? You know, of the video or the call or whatever on, in our case in chief?
I can't tell you because I don't know what we're talking about, but I want what I'm not going to let you do. is asked the same questions about the same subject matter twice.
Okay, I had to change my name because somebody was asking who I was. I'm Olga right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Line 17.
17.
Thank you. When you say subject matter, do you mean like the lovely tea call or just like the specific question that we.
That's a good example. I'm not going to let you go into the lovely tea call that we've just been talking about now and then go into it later too. You get one chance.
Okay. Who's that breathing like
I don't know.
that?
Oh,
Somebody sleep?
I thought somebody was
that's
asleep.
my dog sleeping.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. He's snoring like a person.
go ahead, Danny.
I'm not going to pre-approve anything, just tell you that. I'm only going to let you do it once.
Okay.
If it were me, unless I felt like it was critical to get it out now, I probably would wait and cross my I would probably wait and ask questions to my client when I had complete control so I would not risk broaching uh, into a subject matter and then having the judge say later, well, you already had a chance to question about that. You don't get two chances.
Yes, sir.
That's what I would be doing. That's what I would do because this is not a criminal case where there will be a direct verdict considered. I mean, I guess there could be a direct verdict, but it's unlikely. I mean, normally when I think of a criminal case, defendant stands up once the government and says they have improved their case. They can't carry that burden, and so we want judgment as a matter of law. So, in a civil case, particularly this case where there's clearly issues that are going to have to be decided by the jury, I would not expect a directed verdict to be granted, certainly not on the defamation claims, arguably on the intentional infliction claims, I guess, but not likely to be granted because of it wouldn't as a matter of procedure it wouldn't make sense for me to take the issues away from the jury even if I agreed with the defendants to the extent that the argument was that it was not sufficient under Georgia law to be egregious enough because I'm wrong about that. I've got to retry the case and it just makes sense to let the jury go ahead and decide. And then I can do with it what I want to as a matter of law and have that verdict there in case the appellate courts disagree with me. But I'm not telling you not to cross your client. I think it's fair that you do, if you decide you want to, that you can. I'm even giving you the right to go beyond the scope of direct. But so two things. I'm just summarizing. If you only talk about things that you have been brought upon during the cross examination that the plaintiff makes of her now, you certainly can go into new things later, but I'm not letting you go into the things you've already had a chance to go into and did touch on. Can someone take over for a minute, please?
Okay.
What line are we on?
19, Sylvia.
Understood.
And number two is if you go beyond the scope of the cross examination in the plaintiff's case, then I'm not letting you call your client again, except possibly for rebuttal process purposes. If something new were to come up during the course of the plaintiff's case, that she would have to rebut just that.
Understood, Your Honor.
So I think it's clear if you wait until your case to go personally, but I'll leave it up to you. In the absence of the concrete rule in federal procedure, I'm trying to be fair about it to both sides.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Matz, you pronounce your name a little differently a while ago. How have I been pronouncing your name wrong all along? I've been saying Matt, and it's how do you say it?
I said it, mates.
I'm sorry, I didn't intend to.
It's okay. I honestly, and I don't mean to, I assumed it was your accent.
Oh,
Well, no, it's not. It's really my brain, unfortunately. Oh, anything else you need to talk about tonight?
No, if I could just confer with my counsel.
nothing from me, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. I should be here at 9 a.m. in the morning. If y'all have any issues, alert Miss Lee of it. Otherwise, we'll start at 9:30. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Court is in recess. Scene.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the first day of trial.
Day one down.
All right.
Yes, day one
The dog
down,
was
down.
tired, y'all. The
I
dog was
tell you, the
tired.
dog was snoring like a human.
I was like, I kept hearing. I was like, is Henny sleeping
I
over there?
kept on looking to see who was unmuted.
Right. I was like, who is snoring?
Oh, somebody said they kind of loves this. Let me audition for a part. Oh, come on. Yeah, look, we need a. Oh, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, thank you. So tomorrow, do we continue or is everybody available today? I mean, tomorrow.
um,
I'm good.
I'm available.
I won't
Yeah,
be till about 8.
Okay, we can do 8. Is that 8 okay for you, court deputy?
8 is good for me.
8
Okay.
whose time? I just have to see 8 whose time because I
Eastern.
You know it's Eastern Standard Time. That's the only time we care about.
oh, that's how you feel?
That's kind of janky.
My time matters, okay?
Well, tomorrow, guys, you're gonna get the real nitty gritty of the throwing under the bus type of thing tomorrow. So you guys stay
Yeah.
prepared because this is when she tells it all the lies, more lies, and more lies.
Yes.
Oh, Laura says, "Gee, Sylvia." Oh, my bad. Well, guys, thank you. Y'all share, like, hit the like button, and subscribe. Um, you guys just let me know if you like it. How did we do? Did we do okay today? I think we did much better today. But I think by the fourth, fifth day, we're gonna rock it. Y'all gonna know the part.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
no,
Tell you
that
what
was good.
happened. Who gonna play? Who gonna?
Who kind of face?
Who kind of face? Listen, when I put it up, I can't read. It's hard for me to read and see it at the same time. That's the reason why I don't put it up. And then I've been having technical difficulties with the Russian. That's one of the reasons why I can't put it up. I mean, I can, and then after a while, it just disappears. I'll put it up in the beginning for you. You wanna
Sylvia showed me favor when she gave me TK. At first, I said I don't want to be the bad guy, and then now I'm like looking at all their pages, winning.
Yeah, but let me tell you, TK only say one word. Like, yes,
That's what
ma'am.
I said. I'm winning.
Your name is yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I try to get smart with it. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it's
I'm a
like,
one-liner.
thank you, Sherry. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna have to take ourselves off this live, and oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. See you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back here, same back time, same back channel. And thank you so much, guys, for please share and let them know this is the channel to do the reenactment. We did the reenactment for our Robert Sylvester Kelly case. Now we're doing Cardi B. And we're gonna keep going, keep going. Anytime you want to hear what happened in court, just come on over here.
Come on over.
Come on over here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great night. You guys stay still.
Okay.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
Bye.